Hello, it is Reviews Day Tuesday and it's time for a new episode of Discworld Discourses, and it's a very special Discworld Discourses today because it's the Discworld Discourses in which we talk about the final Discworld book. Today I am going to be talking about The Shepherd's Crown, the 41st book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, first published in 2015. The Shepherd's Crown is the fifth Tiffany Aching story for young adults, and in it Tiffany finds herself having to manage two steadings and a whole lot of witches during an uprising by the elves. This book was published posthumously after Terry Pratchett's death in March 2015. In the afterword by Rob Wilkins, he says that Pratchett was still working on the book when he died. The Shepherd's Crown has a beginning and middle and end and all the bits in between, but it isn't quite finished. Things would have been tweaked or added to, and you can tell when you read this book. Some parts feel less fleshed out than others. Some storylines feel like they're in need of a bit more to them. For instance, the old men and the sheds. But even with these things, I still feel like The Shepherd's Crown is a wonderful book and also a fitting end to the Discworld series. I feel like the most fitting end we could hope for. There's a very major character event that happens early on in this book, which I'm not going to go into details about because it's a massive spoiler, but it felt like it tied the whole series together, and so much of this book is similar to me. It ties up things from the Witches series, but also from the Discworld series as a whole. You know, much like Raising Steam, there were lots of fun and surprising cameos and last visits to characters and places that we know, some of which we haven't visited for a long time. Of all the Discworld books, this one feels the most like an ending, and also feels like the most fitting ending. It's very sad that it's the last Discworld book, but I'm also happy that it feels like we've got a little bit of closure in the last few books. The Shepherd's Crown is also quite sad for a Discworld book, although it is full of wit as usual, and I did really enjoy reading it, especially the whole middle section, which felt the most complete to me. I really enjoyed the new character of Geoffrey and his goat, and the ways that Tiffany steps into her new role while also forging her own path. She is a wonderful character. I really love Tiffany as a character. I've said this before, and although I do miss elements of the early Witches books, I do also love how the Witches series has transformed itself into the Tiffany Aching series for young adults. So yes, The Shepherd's Crown is quite a difficult book to review because it's more than a Discworld book. It has a role that no other Discworld book has, but I will give it 4.3 out of 5. It's not a perfect example of a Discworld book for obvious reasons. It's certainly not a good first Discworld book to read. I'd say there's not really many that would be worse to pick up as your first Discworld book, partly from a narrative perspective and partly because it's the only one that is unfinished. But the job that it has found itself having to do as the final Discworld book, I think it does really well. I'd really love to know what you think about The Shepherd's Crown if you have read it. If you enjoyed The Shepherd's Crown, what should you read next? Assuming, of course, that you haven't read the rest of the series. I think it would be so much fun to go back to Equal Rights, the first Witches book. I think that would be such an interesting book to read next. If you didn't get on as well with The Shepherd's Crown, I would maybe suggest, as I so often do, returning to Ankh-Morpork and the City Watch with Men-at-Arms or something like that. Some facts about The Shepherd's Crown. This book received a 2016 Locus Award and Dragon Award. Various bits of extra content have been included with different versions of this book. For instance, the deluxe edition features commentary on folklore by Jacqueline Simpson, and Simpson also contributes content on the Witches of Discworld to the ebook version. The 2017 gift edition features a map of the chalk. That is it for today. We have reached the end of the books. I started doing this in January 2019, so it's almost been 2 years. It's taken a while to get here, but thank you so much for watching and joining me. It's got me back into reading. I've been happy with how I've been able to keep to the schedule, but most importantly, I've just really enjoyed returning to the Discworld and all the characters and places I know and love. But this isn't the end of Discworld Discourses. I have plans for many other videos based around the Discworld, some reviews, some other things, so do look out for those. I won't be keeping to such a strict schedule. You know, they won't be every first and third Tuesday of the month. And I'm also planning on taking a little break first before I start them, but there will be plenty more Discworld Discourses to come. And let me know as well if you have any suggestions or requests for future Discworld Discourses content for me to make. I would love to know what you'd like to see from Discworld Discourses in future now that we have reached the end of the books. Thank you so much once again for joining me on my Discworld adventures over the last 41 books. I hope it's been as fun for you as it has been for me, and let's move across to the end screen. If you'd like to see my latest video or some more Discworld Discourses, then you can do so below me here, and if you'd like to subscribe to my channel or visit my website, then you can do so beside me here. Also, if you're interested, there is a link to my Patreon page in the description below and to a list of the Discworld books. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.